a tua irmã Chaya no Camaru Anuri, no Camai, no Cauacá, na Anuri, no Yuiuá, na Warron Xinava, Panque, Tu Xinan Chaval aqui, Xinamu Kikirani, Tsai Chabai Kirani, Tsai Makikirani. Awama Wanana, no Maunu Wai Sharai. A tua irmã Chaya no Camaru Anuri, no Camai, no Cauacá, na Anuri, no Yuiuá, na Warron Xinava, Panque, Tu Xinan Chaval aqui, Xinamu Kikirani, Tsai Chabai Kirani, Tsai Makikirani. Awama Wanana, no Maunu Wai Sharai.
Shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor is due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. I'm going to like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and rule well. Peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful elect. Noise in this gospel, bro. I lift up the standard of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is just a piggyback. I know several brothers have done lessons on this. This is a lesson that pretty much it's going to spark a particular trend, mainly among the men of the Great Millstone, because the scriptures say, therefore, be vigilant and watch. And this is part of watching. As we're seeing this is the summit at Davos, which I believe it goes into, I know we broke it down last year. I think Davos means like David or something like that. Salakia, if I'm off on that, it's been a minute since we went into the breakdown. Because I know they had a summit last year as well. But summit goes into like a higher Davos, Switzerland, which Switzerland is pretty much one of the the stumpy grounds of the top elite that rule the entire world. Now, it says, meanwhile, in Davos, they have a witch doctor. And they have been meeting here. I believe they met here like 2 days ago to discuss world events, behind closed doors, and this whole new disease X ordeal, which appears that they have a Gadite here, okay, which is doing a shaman ritual, okay. It says witch doctor at WEF meeting in Davos, and they're not hiding it. They're not hiding their wickedness anymore. They're straight up telling you people what they're getting ready to do, and I believe this is their final attempt to, I want to say it this way, to put to pasture billions of people with this new ordeal. Because when you look in the news or you look at these particular articles, everything about this disease 10 is sparking outcry. Okay, I've heard particular elites of this organization mention, we want to have this thing up and running, or some type of simulation, which the first simulation was the 2020 ordeal. That came and went, and it worked. Okay, statistically shows that 72% of you people, roughly 5.55 billion of you people, went down there and drank juice. So with this whole new pestilence that's getting ready to hit the earth, hey, I mean, it's easy to say that a lot of bodies are getting ready to drop, and it's really Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. But nonetheless, they're showing you straightforward, this is a ritual. Me personally, brothers was kind of, debating what this could have meant. Me personally, my opinion is I believe this is the final attempt of the elites of putting a curse, or using their witchcraft in order to fulfill their works. Because in order for the sorcery to work, they have to put it out in front of you in order for it to, so Satan can act on it. Like a lot of times in movies, they have what they call predictive programming. which allows them to show you things before it comes to pass, which is their left hand means of prophesying future events. Okay, this is the left hood. This is the left side priesthood. You know, from your swabs to your gates to your falsies to your, you know, these lower level luminaries into your top Satanists, which goes back to the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, you know, the Rosenbergs. Those men are the top witches on the left-hand side. And these are like their lower level contemporaries that they set up as the forefront as fall guys to do their bidding. And what you're seeing here is a shaman ritual being put on these people so this witchcraft can actually work. And this is going to end unfavorably for you elites. Okay, because the fact that you're putting this out in the opening, Yahweh Shem Yahushua sees that. Okay, the scriptures say what you've done in the dark, the Lord is going to judge you openly for it. Okay, so, hey, through the spirit, something big is getting ready to hit this earth. And I don't think the masses of the people are ready for it. And when people see this, yeah, it may spark some type of alarm. But the average Jake, they'll see this, they'll be like, what the fuck? And then they'll go back into doing their folly because it didn't hit home. But, hey, this new ordeal that's getting ready to hit this earth, hey, that's going to get a lot of y'all attention, man. And guess what? The men of the Lord, the prophets, have been warning you. I remember Elder D-Mash, early 2020 or late 2019, he had a vision of something similar when he said that it was some type of pestilence to the point people were convulsing in the streets. They was coughing up blood. They was spitting up. They were like literally giving up the spirit in agony. And when you read about this, it says Chinese scientists create mutant, you know what, with 100% mortality rate, basically attacks the mind. And when you think of that, you think of zombies. Okay. So, yeah, it's safe to say that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is getting ready to make the move finally, and you can feel it. Okay, so I got some precepts lined up, but I want to go here first about X. It says, what is this? You know what X? Who virtually study provides roadmap. Now, how would they know this? You know what I'm saying? It says this does not exist, at least not yet. But how would they even know that? Or how would they figure out the model to something that don't exist yet if they wasn't the one behind it? You see, and me personally, I believe that this ritual here is basically what they are doing to get this thing to work in some form or fashion, but it's going to backfire on them because Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to come and he's going to intervene and take these devils down, because not only with the pestilence take out millions of possibly billions of people, you got a thermonuclear war that's on the verge of happening. You have an economic collapse, and then you have the MOTB. So I believe that this particular summit that they had at Davos, I believe that it's going to cover all three. I believe it's going to cover this new pestilence, which can possibly lead to economic collapse because the dollar is through. Okay, economic collapse, then introduction of the MOTB or the micro C-hip, then World War III, which technically has started already, but global and nuclear World War III. So I believe this is all the things that these men and these demons were talking about behind the scenes that they failed to disclose to the public, but yet they openly show you a demonic or a satanic ritual. Okay, because it didn't seem anything positive about what she was doing. Basically blessing the elites for their final hoorah before they go down. But let's see how well that worked for you, E. All right, so it says, represents the knowledge that a serious international you-know-what can be caused by a you-know-what currently unknown to the human you-know-what. Like I said, man, this shit is getting ready to go down. And basically, these guys, they already know because they're the ones behind it. Okay, they told you by 2025, we was going to see something that was going to make the other one look like a cakewalk. But, hey, it's 2024 now, so they right on time. And on top of that, they ain't got that much time left. Lord's getting ready to get this devil out of here, because if this thing is as deadly as they claim it will be, there ain't no way in hell that Yahweh Shah is going to let us suffer here another decade. At least I hope not, you know. But anyway, also I looked up the letter X. It says the letter X often symbolizes something unknown with an air of mystery that can be appealing. Because look at this. It says, just look at Elon Musk with SpaceX, Tesla's Model X, and now X, which is new name for Twitter. You might be most familiar with the X for math class, but mainly algebra problems use the X as a variable to stand for an unknown quantity. Okay, and X also can mean crossed out or dead. Okay, so Yeah, man, it's safe to say that these elites are getting ready to do something very, very sinister. Now, what is a witch doctor? And we should all know that, okay? Especially Keisha, she's an expert on witch doctors. She seems to go and consult them all the time to put her little spells on Jake. But a witch doctor says, what's the purpose of a witch doctor? It says in a primitive society, the witch doctor or a medicine man was a person who had mystical powers that enabled him to detect witches to combat their evil actions. Okay, but this case and age, it looks like they was just doing an outright ritual. You know? And when you look at this, look, see? Bunch of weirdoism, bunch of freakism. You see? Find something here real quick. Also here, see this? Witchcraft. This is Beyonce, who you black women love so much, who you follow out there, which she believes in Osun. What is it called? Oshun. Like, she's like some type of African deity. She wears yellow. She's the god of so-called prosperity and beauty and wealth. She's like a succubus. And then you got Madonna. And these are all 5-point star pentagrams. You know, like when you look at the Baphomet, or you look at the elites or the Knights Templar, they basically pray within a pentagram, which is a 5-point star, which is supposed to be the head of Satan, or the goat Baphomet, which is an androgynous demon. You got Rihanna, and she looks like a real witch. And these ain't fake photos, man. Okay, this is what these celebrities do. Okay, and it's no coincidence that you got this witch doctor or this shaman witch basically casting spells. So this whole New World Order, there's basically like a prayer for the New World Order, in my humble opinion. Okay, you got Katy Perry, Ariana Grande, you know, and the list goes on. So, yeah, man, these demons are getting ready to be stopped. So let's see what the scriptures say. 1 Samuel 15, and I'm going to start at verses 23. It says, for rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as the iniquity in idolatry. What is idolatry? Idolatry is worshiping idols that see nor hear nor talk nor speak. Okay, worshiping idols over Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. It says, because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, he hath also rejected thee from being king. And that was basically a curse out from Samuel to Saul, because basically he didn't follow the orders of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai and smite the males and eat them. Okay, and the evil spirit came upon Saul. But it says, for rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and these elites are outwardly rebelling against Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, mainly his people. Because who they really want to target in this whole camaraderie of wickedness. They want to target you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man, the Israelites. That's what it's all about. And what proves that is when the first ordeal took place, I don't know if you brothers caught it, but Biden even said it. He said, look, we have to get the Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans juice. Okay, and I'm not talking about orange juice. Okay, I'm not talking about something from Whole Foods in the health aisle. No, he was talking about putting something toxic in you. And why did he name them in that particular order? Okay, because this is really to stop you from getting your blessing. Because they know that if they can take us all in this ordeal, in this fault, then they know that Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai by default won't give us the kingdom. You know, and they believe that if they get rid of us, the Lord will give them the kingdom by default. Because this is all this is just the kingdom of heaven on the left-hand side. But it's not going to go down like that, because the Lord is going to deliver us from this thing. All right. Is the book of Ephesians 6, and I'm going to start at verses 10. It says, the whole arm of Yahweh, a final word, be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. And this is to the elect. It says, put on all Yahweh's armor, so that you would be able to stand firm against all the strategies of the devil. And this is nothing more but a strategy. Okay, this is a futile and a subtle attempt in order to get their plans to go forth, you know, so they can bring forth global domination and rule the world. Okay, going back to the Georgia Guidestones, maintaining humanity under 500 million. Hey, with this X, you know what? They can very well do that. And it's no coincidence that I believe like last year, the beginning of last year, the Georgia Guidestones were knocked down, which fulfills the fact that they're going to get their new world order up and running, and also that the Lord is going to put an end to it. So it's safe to say that this is their prayer ritual to bring in a final attempt for this NWO, because if this goes, which it will happen, I mean, the New World Order is not going to happen per se, but these events leading up to their final enterprise being established over humanity is going to be an attempt. And they're going to get some of it all, but they're not going to reign supreme in it. But you better believe that they spoke about everything from economic collapse to the MOTB to this new ordeal into World War III. All of it was discussed in this particular meeting. And me personally, this may be the final meeting that they have. Because, I mean, though they outwardly do rituals, but they've never been really this emboldened with it. At least not in mainstream, because this is like mainstream here. You know. And it says here, for we are not fighting against flesh and blood enemies, but against rulers and authorities of the unseen world, the spirit world, against mighty powers in this dark world, against evil spirits in heavenly places, which shows you that the spiritual demon Satan, he dwells in the heavens as well as on the earth. He can go to the heavens and he's an angel. Okay, when the Lord calls him for a task, when you have a council, they have it in the heavens. Okay, he's not in hell like you Christians teach. Let's read it again. It says against evil spirits in the heavenly places, man. Okay, it says here, therefore, put on every piece of Yahweh's armor so that you're able to resist the enemy in the time of evil. So, hey, brothers, lock in, pray, anoint yourselves, man. Stay focused. Okay, don't get sidetracked by all the nonsense that you're seeing happening, man. Man, with these self-appointed titles and all this other bigotry. Stay locked and focused on what you need to focus on. Stay engaged, man. Okay, watch these prophecies. And it says, and against evil spirits in heavy places, therefore put on every piece of the Most High's armor, so you would be able to resist the enemy in the time of evil. Then after the battle, you will be standing firm, right? Because at the end of the day, man, this is about the elect. Stand your ground, putting on the belt of truth and the armor of Yahweh's righteousness. For shoes, put on a piece that comes from good news, which is the gospel, so that you would be fully prepared. You'll be fully prepared. In addition of all these, hold up the shield of faith to stop the fiery arrows of the devil, and put on salvation as your helmet, and take the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of the Most High, and pray in the Spirit at all times, and on every occasion, stay alert and be persistent in your prayers for all believers everywhere, man. Okay, so that's a commandment, okay, to pray these things and to see what's happening. Because, I mean, honestly speaking, this whole wintertime ordeal we're going through, all these rituals that they're doing, all this technology they're using, you know, from the weaponry to the satellites to the 5G to, you know, the sending of frequencies to brothers, man. Hey, it's all part of their left hand magic. Like, even I'm looking out the window right now at all this snow. This don't even feel like a real winter, bro. Like, it's something unnatural about this cold. Like, you know how you have winter and it feels natural, but I'm looking outside and it don't even seem real. Okay, it feels chemically enhanced. You know, you don't see kids playing in it no more. You don't really see any type of mirth in it. But you can tell it's dead, dry, and it's something unnatural because they're using their left-hand means. And I'm willing to bet that if Esau wasn't using his technology to create this snow, I'm guaranteeing you we probably would still be in 40 to 50 degree temperatures. All because he didn't jacked up the earth so much. All right. But anyway, staying focused, staying on the prize, because we know that this is an attempt for Esau, Edom to try to take us down one final time. All right. Let me see here. Ephesians 5. Let me go here to the book of Numbers, the 23rd chapter, because this reminds me of Balaam and Balak. And basically, he tried to curse the Israelites, and he was like, nah, I ain't even doing that, bro. And they're outwardly bold with this, man, because it says here, this is the book of Numbers 23, and I'm going to start at 1, because he set up an altar, like a ritual, okay, because we know the elites, they deal with left-hand rituals, as we deal with right-hand rituals, which is our prayers and our fastings and our anointing, which is ritualistic. Ritual is just like prayers. When you say ritual, people think, oh, see, he's a demon. No, man. Okay, the Levitical priesthood, the Passover, you know, when we had to sprinkle the blood over the doorpost, when we had to, you know, sacrifice the lamb 1 year old unblemished, that was a ritual, man. Okay, but these are left-hand rituals that we're reading about. It says, and Balaam said unto Balak, build me here 7 altars, which 7 represents completion, and prepare me here 7 oxen and 7 rams, And Balak did as Balaam had spoken. And Balak and Balaam offered on every altar a bullock and a ram. That was a sacrifice. That was a ritual. And Balaam said unto Balak, stand by thy burnt offerings, and I will go. Peradventure the Lord will come to meet me. And whatsoever he showed me, I will tell thee. And he went to a high place. And the powers, or the Most High, met Balaam, and he said it to him, I prepared 7 altars, and I have offered up every altar a bullock and a ram. And the Lord put the word in Balaam's mouth, and said, return it to Balak, and thus shalt thou speak. And he returned it to him, and lo, he stood by his burnt sacrifice, he and all the princes of Moab. And he took up this parable and said, Balak, the king of Moab, have bought me from Aram, and out of the mountains of the east, saying, come, curse me, Jacob, and come ye defy Israel. And that's what these elites are doing on the left-hand side. Okay, they're trying to curse us, man. But see, in this case, they're too proud to say, you know what, I ain't gonna do this because this is gonna end bad. At least he was spiritual enough to say, nah, I ain't fucking with that, because it's gonna end bad for me. When you see the blessings and how much the Most High love these people, you'll be a fool to put curses on them. And that's what these demons don't see. And the crazy part is they got an Israelite to do it, which shows you that they know the power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai on the left hand and the right hand side, if that make any sense. All right. And it says here, but he says, but how should I curse whom the Most High have not cursed? Or how should I defy whom the Lord have not defied? And from the top of the rocks I see him, and from the hills I behold him. Lo, the people should dwell alone, and should not be reckoned among the nations. But who can count the dust of Jacob, and the number of fourth the part of Israel? Let me die the death of the righteous, and let my last end be like his, man. Because he like, I'm not even on that. Okay, so with that being said, you think the elites will understand some type of humility, but they're not, because the Most High put a perverse spirit on these devils, man. And this is why the Lord is getting ready to take out Esau and destroy his habitat, which is his kingdom, because he's dealing in wickedness. All right, Galatians 5, and I'm going to start at verses 18. Matter of fact, I started 19. It says, now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, and these are all the things Esau promotes in his kingdom. Idolatry, witchcraft. Okay, this kingdom is revolving around idols. Everything you see is witchcraft, from the cars you drive, to the apartments you live in, to the jobs you work, to the restaurants you go to the ballpark games you go to. It's all ritualistic on the left-hand side, from the colors. That's why every business you see have a particular color on it, man. Okay, they got something which is called food science, and they have the psychology of colors or something like that. When colors mean certain things to the elites, you know, they operate off a particular scale with dealing with numerology and colors, man. Okay, but it says fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I also have told you in times past, that they which do such things should not inherit the kingdom of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And we know Esau is not going to inherit the kingdom anyway. Okay, but witchcraft, when you look up witchcraft, which goes into pharmakia, which is another way of saying Pharaamacy, it says the use of administering of drugs or poisoning, which proves that what I said. Sorcery, magical arts, often found in connection with idolatry and fostered by it. Okay, world trade, the Statue of Liberty, you know, these particular ziggurats, the way that these buildings are made, the emblems on your Starbucks, you know, even the emblems on your particular cars. You know, from the Chevy bow tie all the way to the Toyota emblem, all that shit is in idolatry. Going back into Greek customs, man. You see? So this man got to be put down, okay? Because literally he's really losing his mind. He's coming down with great wrath. You see? Let's go to the book of Nahum. Nahum 3. And also I'm going to go to Isaiah 19. Because believe it or not, the people are calling for this by default. Okay, these people, they're going to march up and they're going to line up to go down there and take that Marco C hit once things get bad. Okay, once a million bodies start dropping and bodies start dropping consecutively, especially when you know what is activated in you people's bodies, that's when a lot of you are going to start to realize, like, wait a minute, this is unnatural. Because like I said, 72.2% of the people went down there and drank juice. Okay, and I'm not talking about Welch's. All right, I ain't talking about the good shit. which Welch is just trash anyway. That's nothing but sugar. And it ain't nothing but sugar at the end of the day. And artificial grape juice, but you get the point. All right. So this is the book of Isaiah 19. And I'm going to start at verses 1. It says, the burden of Egypt, behold, Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud, and should come into Egypt. And the idols of Egypt should be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt should melt in the midst of it. These people getting ready to faint. Okay, they're already bugging out because they're working 40 to 50 to 60 hours a week, and they still can't afford a damn light bill. Okay, people are bugging the hell out over that because they don't have an optimist about future. This is why everybody is hoping to get Trump back in office, because they believe that Trump somehow, some way is going to bring back some type of pre-2020 prices, man. Which if Trump get in there, which I don't really see the election taking place, but I'll speak as a man when I say that. But if he does get in there, he's not going to do nothing before the agenda of the elite bankers. And then they may assassinate him of a fake attempt, body double-wise, which may spark a civil war. Because I'm going to tell you like this, either way it goes, this country is getting ready to descend into chaos. Whether Trump gets assassinated or he don't win the election. This country is getting ready to see chaos on unprecedented levels. Okay, because everybody's on edge. So they ain't got a choice but to bring in these, to move things up quick. And this is why they're openly and blatantly showing you their odious witchcrafts, man. Okay, it says here, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, which is you peons here in America. And they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, kingdom against kingdom. And we're seeing that in the small skirmishes, the divisions between political parties, you know, religions. And it says, and the spirit of Egypt shall fall in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the council thereof. And this is part of the councils, because even though they are in Switzerland, their plan is really for this side of the world and just the Western hegemonies, period. And once the Western world follows suit, all the other nations are going to follow suit by default. Okay? Esau's power structure. But it says, and I will destroy the council thereof, and they should seek to the idols and to the charmers and to them that have familiar spirits and to the wizards. And see, what they're doing now is seeking to the idols because, and the charmers and the wizards, because their witchcraft is failing. Okay, you notice more kids are coming up missing. They're getting sloppy with things. Okay, they're missing steps. You know, they're exposed. Okay, because Satan ain't dealing with them like he used to deal with them. He's leaving them. So this is why they're going all out. And they're getting ready to go down without a fight, man. Okay, this devil is going to fight to hold on to his kingdom. And guess what? He's going to take as many as you Israelites as he can with him. Those of you that didn't come into the knowledge and wisdom of this truth. All right. And it says here, and the Egyptians I will give over into the hands of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, says the Lord and the Lord of hosts. Okay. And that's the establishing of this draconian system, because they're going to bring in this new world order by bloodshed, through martial law, through rioting, through wars, through taking away your rights, through putting things inside you. And this is how Esau was moving now, man. And if you don't see it, then that's just too bad. Okay. Go here, Wisdom of Solomon, 12th chapter, start at verses 4. And it says here, whom thou hatest for doing most odious works of witchcrafts and wicked sacrifice. This is a wicked sacrifice right here. Okay, she's on that Namhodoriango shit. You know what I'm saying? And it looks very foolish, but in the back of their mind, they think that this have some type of power. This is low level compared to the power that we getting ready to get. Because in many ways, it's comical, but it's very strange because, like I said, they do open rituals, but I've never seen them provoke a shaman witch to overly bless a summit like that. This is usually something they do behind closed doors, but they putting it out in the open because they're realizing, like, man, you people are stupid. You just gonna fall for it anyway. And on top of that, their might is failing. Okay, their power is failing. But it says here, and those merciless murderers of children and devourers of man's flesh and the feast of blood with their priests, and she's a priestess, clearly, out of the midst of their idolatrous crew, and the parents that killed with their own hands souls destitute of help. Okay, so this is what we're seeing. You know, Esau is making moves in the earth, and it's just a matter of time before he comes down with great wrath. Okay, and I believe that we're seeing the beginning of it. Get Micah, get Isaiah 47, because it's gonna all fail at the end of the day. Okay, it's gonna all fail. The Lord already read it. We've already read it. But anyway, this is the book of Isaiah 47. And I'm going to start at verses 5. It says, sit down. It says, sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called the lady of kingdoms, because they're losing their popularity and they're losing their power among the nations. Okay, the nations are to the point they don't really fear Esau anymore because they have the weapons he have. And they have people that's bagging them, and it's looking like their allies are turning against them. It says here, for I was wroth with my people. I polluted my inheritance and given them into thy hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. And upon the ancient hast thou verily laid thy heavily laid thy yoke, which is slavery. And thou sayest, I shall be a lady forever. That thou didst not lay these things to the heart, neither did thou remember it on the latter end. Therefore now hear this, that thou art given to pleasures that dwellest carelessly, and that's you Americans, that sayest in thy heart, I am and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither should I know the loss of children. But these two things should come to thee in a moment of one day, the loss of children and widowhood, and it should come upon thee in thy perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries, okay, which is witchcraft, for the great abundance of thy enchantments. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none of these seeth me. But hey, everybody sees you. You're doing it out in the opening. Okay, first you was in secret, but now you're doing it out in open because you're careless, you're reckless, and the Lord is exposing your folly, man. That shit you're doing on the left-hand side, it don't have that. It don't have power over us. And you may have the power to take these monkey brain imbeciles that you call Israelites over here and the rest of your people, but that's not going to have effect on the elect. You're going to try, but it ain't going to work. It says, but thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it had perverted thee, and thou hast said in thy heart, I am and none else beside me. Therefore shall evil come upon thee, and thou shalt not know from whence it rises, because it's going to come upon you suddenly. And mischief shall fall upon thee, and thou shalt not be able to put it off. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Okay, because, hey, when this happens, you're going to try to call on Satan. You're going to try to call on your different gods. You're going to be doing rituals. You're going to be drinking blood. You know, all types of the left-hand debaucherous shit you've been doing. You're going to attempt to do it, but it ain't going to work. Okay, because the Lord is the one that gave you your power. And it says, but stand nigh with thy enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou should be able to profit. If so be thou mayest prevail. But thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers and the stargazers and the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that should come upon thee. But behold, they should be as stubble, and the fire should burn them, and they should not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There should not be a coal to warm it, nor fire to sit before it. All right, and that's the point. Your witchcrafts ain't gonna work, man. Okay, so continue with your witchcrafts, continue doing what you got to do to try to jam up the elect, because I admit it, you're going to take majority of these people. Majority of Jake, you're going to take them. But at the end of the day, you're going to take them, but the Lord going to regain them on the other side. Your people, they just going to be taken completely. But the men of the Lord, the elect, you ain't going to get, man. Okay? And it says here, Nahum 3, and I'm going to start at 4, it says, because the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot and the mistress of witchcrafts, that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts. Slavery, that was ritualistic. Behold, I am against thee, says the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face. And I will show the nations thy nakedness and the kingdoms thy shame. And I will cast abominable filth upon thee and make thee vow, and I will set thee as a gazing stock. Yep, and that's exactly what the Most High is doing. Okay, so you devils, you through. Okay, you have no leg to stand on. And ultimately, your new world order is going to fail because it's sloppy already. Okay, you barely getting it up right. And you got to deceive people into taking shit that you know is going to fuck them up. All right, one last precept. And it says here, Micah 5, and I'm going to start at verses 10. And it should come to pass in that day, says the Lord, that I will cut off all thy horses out of the midst of thee, which is your military, your cops, your police force, your militias. And I will destroy thy chariots, and I will cut off the cities of thy land, and I will throw down all thy strongholds, and I will cut off witchcrafts out of thy hand, and thou shalt have no more soothsayers. And the graven images also I will cut off, and thy standing images out of the midst of thee, and thou shalt no more worship the work of thy hands. And I will pluck up thy groves out of the midst of thee. So I will destroy thy cities, and I will execute vengeance and anger and fury upon the heathen, such as they have not heard. So the Lord's getting ready to lay the sword to you devils, man. All right, so keep going with your witchcraft and with your seances and with your shaman deities. Go ahead and see how far it gets you. But with that, all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Lord's will you were edified into the next lesson. Shalom.
No Camaru Anuri, no Camai, no Cauacá, na Anuri, no Yuiuá, na Warron Chinavo, Punk, Tuxinan, Chaval aqui, Chinamu Kikirani, Tsai, Chabai Kirani, Tsai, Makikirani. Awama Wananã, Awama Wananã, no Maú, no Wai Charai. A tua irmã Chaya no Camaru Anuri, no Camai, no Cauacá, na Anuri, no Yuiuá, na Warron Chinavo, Punk, Tuxinan, Chaval aqui, Chinamu Kikirani, Tsai, Chabai Kirani, Tsai, Makikirani. Awama Wananã, no Maú, no Wai Charai.